Flushed face, she didn't leave once. Fire, she left 3 times and he still found her. The first time, it was easy. Too easy. Mara Kolpak light. Didn't look back. Didn't leave a trace. That was a rule. Always leave quietly. Always disappear clean. The road stretched ahead. Endless. Free. Exactly what she wanted. Until a shadow crossed the path beside her. Hoofbeats. Slow. Steady. Familiar. Mara stopped walking. Didn't turn right away. Didn't need to, because she already knew. You're predictable, he said. Low. Calm. Too calm. She turned, and there he was. Rhett Walker. The man she thought she could leave behind. The man who somehow always knew where to find her. You followed me, Mara said. Not surprised. Just tired. Rhett tilted his head slightly. No. A pause. You left clues. Her jaw tightened. I covered everything. He stepped closer. Not fast. Not threatening. Just certain. You always go where it's quiet, he said. Where no one asks questions. A beat, and where you think I won't look. That truth landed harder than she expected. You don't know me, she said, trying to hold her ground. Try not to let him see anything else. Rhett's gaze didn't shift. I know enough. Silence. Heavy. Unfinished. Why do you keep coming back? She asked. A real question this time. Not anger. Not frustration. Just something deeper. Rhett didn't answer immediately. He looked at her longer than before. More direct. Because you keep leaving, he said finally. That answer. Simple, but not complete. That's not a reason, she replied. A faint shift in his expression. Then, it is for me. The wind moved between them. Soft, but noticeable. Like everything else in that moment. You don't get to decide where I go, Mara said. Firm. Clear. Rhett nodded once. You're right. A pause. Then, but I get to decide if I follow. That line wasn't a threat, but it wasn't simple either. Because he wasn't stopping her. He wasn't forcing her. He was choosing her. Again and again. Mara looked away for a second. Because that was harder to fight. You should have let me go, she said quietly. Rhett stepped closer, closing the distance just enough. I tried, he said. A beat didn't work. Her breath slowed slightly. Because something about that honesty felt real. Why? She asked again. Softer this time. A long pause. Then, because every time you leave. He stopped, just for a second. You take something with you? That line hit differently. Because now, this wasn't about chasing. It was about something already lost. Mara held his gaze. Trying to understand. Try not to feel it. You don't even know what that means, she said. Rhett's expression didn't change. I don't need to. A pause. I just know I'm not letting it go. Silence fell again. But now, it wasn't empty. It was charged. Because this wasn't just a chase anymore. It was something deeper. Something neither of them had named yet. And the worst part? Mara wasn't sure she wanted him to stop. The second time, she didn't wait. Didn't hesitate. Mara left before sunrise. Quiet. Clean. No goodbye. No trace. That was the plan. This time, she chose a different direction. Different town. Different road. No patterns. No habits. Nothing he could read. Or so she thought. Hours passed. Then a day. Then 2. No sign of him. No shadow. No hoofbeats. For the first time, she felt it. Freedom. Real. Uninterrupted. But something fell off. Too quiet. Too easy. Like the silence wasn't peace. It was absence. That thought, she pushed it away immediately. You're better off, she whispered to herself. That night, a small roadside stop. Dim lights. Few people. Safe enough. Mara sat alone. Hands wrapped around a cup she hadn't touched. Eyes unfocused. Thinking. Not about danger. Not about being found. About him. Annoying. Unwanted. Constant. And suddenly, missed. The door creaked open. Soft. Almost unnoticeable. But she felt it before she saw him. You're getting better, Rhett said. Low, calm, right behind her. Mara didn't turn immediately, didn't react. You took longer this time, she said. Controlled, but quieter than before. Rhett stepped closer. Slow, measured. You changed the pattern. A pause. Smart. She turned now, looking straight at him. And you still found me. A faint shift in his expression. Yeah. Silence. But different this time. Less resistance. More awareness. Why does that bother you? He asked. It doesn't. Too quick. Too defensive. Rhett didn't argue. Didn't push. Then leave again, he said. That answer caught her off guard. What? He leaned slightly against the table. Relaxed. Watching her. Go. A beat. I'll find you again. That wasn't confidence. That was certainty. And if I don't want you to, she asked. A real question. Not a test this time. Rhett looked at her. Longer. More serious. Then stopped looking for me. That line. Quiet. But it landed hard. Because suddenly, this wasn't just him finding her. It was her expecting him to. Mara's breath slowed slightly. Because she felt it now. Clear. Undeniable. She wasn't just running. She was waiting. You think I want this? She asked softly. Rhett didn't answer immediately. I think... A pause. You don't hate it as much as you should. That truth. Sharp. Uncomfortable. Real. Mara looked away for a moment. Because she couldn't deny it. You don't let things go, she said quietly. Rhett stepped closer. Not forcing. Not closing her in. Just there. No, he said. A beat. Not when they matter. Silence fell again. But this time, it wasn't tension. It was something else. Something pulling. Because now, it wasn't about escaping him anymore. It was about understanding why she wasn't trying harder to. And that question was far more dangerous than the chase itself. The third time, she didn't run. No early escape. No pack bag. No quiet goodbye. Mara stayed. The same town. The same road. The same place he had found her before. And for the first time, she wasn't trying to disappear. She was waiting. The day moved slowly. Too slowly. Every sound sharper. Every second heavier. She told herself it meant nothing. That she was just tired of running. That it had nothing to do with him. But deep down, she knew. The sun dipped low. Golden light stretching across the road. Familiar. Almost identical to the first time. Then, hoofbeats. Slow. Steady. Unmistakable. Mara didn't turn right away. This time, she smiled. Just slightly. You took your time, she said. Behind her. Silence. Then, I didn't need to rush. Rhett's voice. Calm. Certain. She turned now. Facing him fully. No distance. No hesitation. You knew I'd be here, she said. Rhett studied her. Longer than before. Like he was seeing something new. You didn't leave. Not a question. No. Silence. But it wasn't tense. It was clear. Because this time, there was no chase. No running. Just truth. Why? He asked quietly. Mara held his gaze. Didn't look away. Didn't hide. I wanted to see if you'd still come, she said. That answer. Honest. Unexpected. Rhett stepped closer. Slow. Measured. I always do. That certainty didn't feel overwhelming anymore. It felt steady. Yeah, she said softly. I know. A pause. Then, maybe that's a problem. Rhett tilted his head slightly. Or the reason. Their eyes held. Longer. Deeper. Because now, this wasn't about leaving. It was about staying. Mara took a step closer, closing the space between them. You could have stopped me, she said quietly. Rhett shook his head slightly. No. Why not? A pause. Then, because if you stayed, he stepped closer. Just enough. It had to be your choice. That line changed everything. Because now, there was no control. No chase. No force. Just choice. Her choice. Mara's heartbeat slowed. Not from fear. From clarity. I kept running, she said softly. A pause. Because I thought I had to. Rhett didn't interrupt, didn't move. But I stopped, she continued, looking straight at him, because I didn't want any more. Silence. But it wasn't empty. It was real, because for the first time, she wasn't being found. She was choosing to stay. Rhett stepped closer. No hesitation now. No distance left. You're not running, he said quietly. No. A beat. Then, not from you. That line, soft, but powerful. Because this wasn't a chase anymore. It was something else. Something chosen. Something real. And somehow, that was more intense than the running ever was. Flushed face, he always found her. Red heart. But this time, she didn't want to be lost. The road was quiet again. The same road. The same place everything started. But nothing felt the same anymore. Mara stood still, not waiting to leave, not planning her next escape. Just there, present, certain. Rhett stood in front of her, closer than ever before, but not closing her in, not forcing anything. You're not going anywhere, he said quietly. Mara shook her head, slightly. No. A pause. Then, I'm not running anymore. That answer, simple, but it carried everything. Rhett studied her, like he was trying to make sure it was real, not another test, not another moment before she disappeared again. You mean that? He asked. Mara stepped closer. No hesitation. No distance. I stayed, she said softly. A beat, that should answer you. Silence, but not uncertain. Clear, because this time, there was no chase left between them. No running. No finding. Just choice. Her choice. Rhett exhaled slowly, like something he'd been holding on to. Finally let go. You made this harder than it needed to be, he said, a faint edge of humor in his voice. Mara almost smiled. Maybe you just didn't understand me. A pause. Then, or maybe I did, he replied. A beat, and just waited. That line, soft, but powerful. Because he hadn't chased control her. He stayed because he believed she'd come back. And she did. Mara looked at him. Really looked. Not as the man who followed her, but as the one who never gave up on her. You always found me, she said quietly. Rhett shook his head slightly. No. A pause. You always came back. That truth hit differently, because maybe it was never just about him finding her. It was about her choosing him. Every time, Mara stepped closer, closing the last space between them. I didn't understand it before, she said softly. A pause. But I do now. Rhett didn't move, didn't interrupt. I wasn't running from you, she continued, looking straight at him. I was running from staying. Silence, but it wasn't heavy. It was complete, because now everything made sense. Rhett reached for her hand, slow, careful, like it mattered, and she didn't pull away, because this time there was no fear, no doubt, just choice. And for the first time, he didn't have to find her. She stayed.